orange house. When you log in, this is the screen. Now, this is all of your leads. This is all the information that they're giving to the machine. Learning process is probably the best way to do this because we have our robot following around everything they point and click on here. Now, your mileage may vary. This is a test system. This is actually iHomefinder.training. This is the back end that we've done training on. If you've been to any of the training webinars that we're using now today, or one-on-one training, or your kickoff call. So this is everything that they're doing now. I can go in here and just tap on Julie Homebuyer and get inside of her specific account here. And you can see that all the pertinent information that she gave us is in here. And this screen is pretty important because there's a lot of things that happen here. First of all, Julie's rated with 2 stars. Our algorithmic process has watched what Julie's doing. Everything she's clicked on when she's come to the website, every search she's done, every time she's tapped on a link that is sent to her cell phone with listings, and every time she's clicked on a link that's sent to her email. We're following all of that. We're gathering information because we want to get Julie the right information that she needs. And this is all done through artificial intelligence, and you will never have to create another safe search again manually with our system. So Julie's been quite busy. Julie's rated at 2 stars. Julie would be a client that I would do some personal focusing on. And we can see that Julie is not only a buyer, but she's also a seller, which she signed up. And Julie has been uncontacted. So instead of Julie staying uncontacted, we're going to go ahead and we're going to tap on the phone icon here, and we're going to call Julie. Now, if I were to hit that number, I would actually dial iHomefinder. That's the 866 number here. But you can call within the app. This is the wonderful thing about this app and the way that it links up with our system. When you call from the app, you don't have to grab a phone number, copy and paste it, and get it inside of your phone book or do anything like that. Everything can be done from inside the app. And also, you can leave a note here. So now you're getting the option with this modal pop-up because we've executed a phone call. And you may want to leave a note that says LVM, left voicemail. And so we give you the option to do that because you could do that with anything, but you would have to go over here to the history section and then tap on this and then tap on information. So I didn't actually save that note, but it will give you that modal pop-up every single time you do any one of these actions. If you want to text Julie, you can just go ahead and text her, send over a text. And again, you're going to get the modal pop-up if you want to leave a note for yourself saying that, hey, I sent her over a text on this day. And also, you can do a direct email from here as well. Tap on there and you can shoot her an email from your phone. So you can do everything from within the app, and it's actually going to track this for you. So I'm going to go back to the top here and start at the very top here. If we hit the back arrow, we go to the main with everything on it, with all the leads that are doing. We're going to go back in here and we're going to focus on Julie. We can bookmark this the same way that we can bookmark this on a main system. For some reason, it's not bookmarking for me, but I am doing this on my MacBook Pro, and I am actually mirroring my phone, and that may have something to do with the process. We will touch upon that in the 11 a.m. Pacific time webinar when we're doing this in the desktop app as well. If you want to go in here and edit it, all of the information in here is editable. We can go in here and say, hey, this is a hot lead because it is a buyer and a seller. And there's also additional information you can put in here. And again, I will go over this in more detail during the 11 a.m. Pacific time webinar. But note here that you can put birthdays and transaction anniversaries in there. When we get into the UI a little bit later on, it sends an automated email out, and it actually touches the client a couple of times a year to keep you in the forefront of their mind, which is always a good thing because those are the kind of people that give you recommendations, and they'll come back to you for their next transaction. So now we're going to go here and we're going to take a look specifically at just Julie's. So this looks like the splash screen, but this is different. This is only Julie's information and what she's been looking at and what we've been tracking. If we go back to the main splash screen, it's going to be all the clients. Look, we have Luke Skywalker here. We have Marty Smith. We have several people here, not just Julie Homebuyer. So let's go back into Julie's here. And we can also take a look at Julie's subscriptions. Julie is not on any marketing automation campaign, so we definitely want to add Julie to the general follow-up campaign. See if I can actually get my mouse to do that. I'm going to try this one more time. And this is kind of a product of me doing this the way I'm doing. I am mirroring my iPhone to the top of the desktop of my MacBook Pro. You can see here that there are market subscriptions in here for basically different cities. And, markets are not just a save search. The classic save search would be a listing report, but we also in our markets, and the reason we call them markets is because we not only include open houses, but we include a statistical analysis that changes and updates every 30 days of monetarily and physically what is going on in the market itself. And then we can see that there's email alert activities, and this is some of the information that Julie's been doing. We can see here live on the phone. We can see all of these in the desktop app as well as the mobile app here. And then we go ahead and log into the history. This is where we would leave the notes section here. And that was the little mode pop up. And we also have, in addition to make tasks here as well. If we want to go ahead and create a new task, we would give it a title, add a description, name the action item type, make this a phone call, and the start date obviously be today. And then the end date, we could go ahead and make it 3 business days. Go ahead and save this. All right, now we can also see that Julie's type is a buyer and a seller. And now that we've picked up the phone and we've left her a voicemail, we're going to put her in the attempted contact bucket. And I'm going to show you how to filter these on the phone later on and in the main user interface. We haven't gathered any mortgage information from her or any additional information. One of the things I do want to go over here, and I'm going to go over in depth in the next webinar coming up here at 11 a.m. Pacific time, are tags. We did not want to put you into a box like every other real estate CRM I've ever worked with, including our previous real estate. We didn't want to create a group called single family attached garage, single family disattached garage. We wanted it to be more scalable than condominium, lots of land, commercial. So what we did is we created a bunch of tags here, and you can see that there are quite a few in this list, but you can also create a tag that says anything. So you can create this to your taste. I don't know if this is actually going to create this because of the mode that we're using. Let's just try this again. Yeah, it's not going to create it because I'm using it on my phone. But the operating here is that we are going to create tags that are exactly for our market. A lot of our clients will create a tag that says 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom, 5 bedroom. And then they'll stack tags on top of that. They'll create 1 bath, 2 bath, 3 bath, 4 bath, half bath, home office, things like that. So then you have multiple tags that could be for every scenario. And then some people will put things like waterfront property and they'll use that as a tag, but they can group everything together in any way, shape, form, or manner that they would want to. We're going to go ahead here and we're going to take a look at some of the actions that we've got going on here. These are uncontacted leads that I have in this list. So these are always handy. We don't want any lead to be contacted. Now, as you'll find out in the next webinar, our system sends a handshake text out within the first 10 to 15 seconds when somebody signs up, but we always want to contact those people. That's why this action button is very handy. And then obviously we have some metrics in here. Now, and this is both the same with our system. If we want to take a look and we want to say, hey, I want to look at all the uncontacted leads here. Well, we can see that these are all the uncontacted leads. Now, only some of these leads I've actually deleted, which is why this list is only showing 2. We can take a look at the attempted contact leads. And remember, this is a test system. This doesn't have 150 to 200 leads like your system is likely to have in it. So now we're going to go down here and we're going to look at the menu that stretches across the bottom. This is your entire contact list. This is an amalgamation of both leads and contacts in different basic areas. And this feature right here is my favorite feature of this entire piece of software. This is the filtering section. You can filter any way possible. Looks like I have a filter that's actually going. Now, one of the things I do want to mention is when you create a filter, it will go from page to page with you throughout the system, whether you're using the app or you're using the desktop app. And that's for convenience because you don't want to filter and look at a group of clients and then have to refilter them on every page. So if we were to go in here and we were going to grab every buyer and every seller, we could go in and view these 2 leads, Julie Homebuyer and Luke Skywalker. Now, if we were to go back here, we would have to clear this to look at anything else. If we wanted to look at statuses, wanted to look at all the active listings right here, we could see all 7. All 7 of these leads right here are active in the system. And then we would go back to sort and filter to clear this, to see all clients. I actually find that this is just a little bit easier to use than the desktop version. So I like this quite a bit, but I'm a little biased. And you can see that there's several mechanisms there. I would recommend that you just get in here and tab around the app a little bit here. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to go down here and we're going to look at some of these specific filters that are by themselves and some of the sorting mechanisms that you can set up globally inside of the app here. And you can also create a new task for this screen as well. So if you wanted to create a new task that was for multiple people, you could create the task and then assign it to multiple people. So that is the high overview. If you come to any kickoff calls or one-on-one training, we'll be happy to show you in depth more of what this app does. We basically went over and touched everything that it does as of right now. Now, I will give you a heads up. We're pushing updates to this app about every 2 weeks. We've been pushing updates to this app every 2 weeks for about the last 8 months. So we are working diligently on this app and creating a lot of new features and to get towards the end of the roadmap here. And last but not least, one of the things that I recommend is that turn your notifications on here. And the reason you want to let this app have enabled notifications is this app will literally alert you with a notification when one of your clients is on your website. They don't have to do anything but be on the website. It will notify you. It will say Joe Homebuyer or Julie Homebuyer is on your website. And if that is in fact the process there, it's a really good idea to go into Julie Homebuyer's account and maybe send her a text and say, hey, Julie, I'm just checking in with you. I haven't talked to you in a few days, knowing that they're on the website and that they're actually devoting some time into actually doing this as well. All right. If you have any questions, my direct number, if you want to write this down, is 541-743-8527. You can also text that number as well. It is SMS enabled. Please let me know who you are, because if you send me a random text without a name, I won't know who you are. Also, my direct email address is clientsuccess@iHomefinder.com. I hope we see everybody at the main Max webinar starting here in about 40 minutes. If you have not signed up, please feel free to go to iHomefinder.training as opposed to iHomefinder.com. Go to iHomefinder.training, and in the menu that runs along the top, there's a item there that says sign up for webinars. Tap on that, sign up for the Max webinar, and I'll see you folks in about 40 minutes. Thank you for coming. We appreciate your time. Take care.